Bethany here and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be playing with the Not Too Shabby Shop's Stamp and Die of the month for September. I think this set is stinking cute. It is a little more Valentine's vibe, but you have a buzzy bee. That could be for summer. You have a little bear with a heart. That could be for a birthday or a kid's birthday or really any anniversary card. So I love this set. It is so versatile, but I am going to turn this little snow gal with a heart and a little bow into a cute holiday card. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this out and then I will die cut. I have loaded the little snow lady and the sentiment "You Melt My Heart" into the Stamparatus, and now I'm just going to use some Eclipse black ink from Maker Forte's Color Hive line, and I'm going to ink it up really well. I can tell I'm going to need a re-inker soon because it is very difficult to get a good impression of the black right now. Using my smusher, and I'm going to go over it a second time. Now I have a beautiful impression. I am actually going to use embossing powder to emphasize the black. And I'm going to use the Maker Forte Diamond Glaze embossing powder to give this cutie pie a little sparkle. Since she's so adorable, I'm just upping the shimmer and sparkle. And you'll notice I'm not using embossing powder, mostly because I don't mind if some sparkle ends up not on the black. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I'm using a coffee filter to catch all of my excess. I'm going to set this aside before I start heating. And I will be using the highest heat setting for my WOW heat gun. And I will be heating from the back because the particles have a tendency to fly away when they have glitter in them. And that was fast and easy. So now I'm going to go ahead and put this through my Cuttlebug with the dies. And I used mint tape to hold it down, hold the dies down, and they cut so nice and so even. I really like using mint tape. It's new to me. I used to use painter's tape, and sometimes the results were inconsistent, but now that I'm starting to use the mint tape, my results are a lot more consistent. So now we're going to color. Yay! I'm going to go ahead and use the Ohuhu markers, and I'm going to start with my lighter colors first, just because I'm not 100% sure how I want to do this. I have the light sky blue. It is PB1, and I'm going to use the extra, and all I'm going to do is I am just going to lightly go around the edge of this little lady and just create as if it were a shadow, but it's a blue shadow. And I'm not even going to go around her full body. I'm just making it look as if the light is coming from the left side of her and the dark shadow is appearing on her left side, or right side, excuse me. I guess technically, yeah, it's her left side, but from our purposes, or from our perspective, it's the right side of her body. And just a little hair of the sinking in, her little eyes, little nose, and her little bow needs a little shadow too. And the twig needs just a light shadow, not super huge. And then her little heart is going to have a shadow on it too. All right, now we are going to go ahead and give the heart, we're going to use the vermilion. I think that's the red I like the most. Yeah. So I'm going to just let the heart be fully. No shadowing, nothing fancy about it. Just going to be simple. And then I'm going to use a lighter tan for the first color I'm putting down on the branches. This one is called Rose Beige. and I'm going to be a little sporadic. When it comes to tree branches, you'll notice there's different highlights and shadows, never really straight lines. And then we're going to use a potato brown as the next color. And this one, again, a little more sporadic. Kind of like the twig is birch or something, but I guess it's not birch. Birch is a little more white. I should do a close-up so you can see. Give me one moment. It's a little difficult when you're far away to see what I'm doing here. And now we are going to add a pink bow. I'm going to start with my light color first, which is pastel pink. And using another sporadic brush stroke. And then going ahead and adding a darker tone. Let me add the pastel rose, which is an R9. When you do sporadic brush strokes, it adds a little dimension. It also adds texture because you're not necessarily coloring a flat thing. And then I'm going to go ahead and add just a hair of the vivid reddish purple, just right in the corners to give it a little outline, so to speak, some shadowing. And the other thing too, when you're using alcohol markers, sometimes it's nice to use the sporadic lines. It's not like when you're using a pencil, it's going to be exact every time. Because what happens is, as that alcohol ink sits on top of the other colors, it's going to end up naturally blending itself. And then finally the carrot nose. We want to have a nice light orange, so we're going to start with the marigold. And this is actually a little darker than I was anticipating it to be. So I'm going to find a brighter orange and put it right over the top. And this one's just called orange. And I'm going to blend it back into that marigold color. And I'm not going to do much else with it because I think it's really cute with that burnt look at the bottom, at the base. And there's my cute little lady. Let me hold her up a little closer so you can see her. There she is. I'm focusing. I think she's absolutely adorable. And now we're going to create a little scene for her. Next, I grabbed some glitter cardstock in green and using last month's Not Too Shabby stamp and die set called Winter Vibes. And using just the tree die, nothing extra fancy to it. I just cut out 3 simple trees and now I have to decide on a background. So I am being brave and bold and crazy all at once. I have loaded my red card base that I created myself, and I'm going to use this white rubber stamp from Maker Forte called Sweater Backgrounds. And I am just going to try to center it, eyeballing it, and center it as best as I can while also not losing too much of the dimension. It's very difficult though, working around the magnets. I already can tell you I'm not crazy about my idea. And I may ruin a card base and have to improvise later, but we're going to try this and see how it works. I am also going to use the Maker Forte Snow Flurries pigment ink pad. And I haven't used it for a little while, so it doesn't seem as juicy as it could be. And so fingers crossed. It's also white on white, so you can't really tell if it's completely inked up. So this is why I have it in the Stamparatus, to make sure that I have full coverage no matter what. And if I can't seem to figure it out, well, guess what? It's going to become a distressed background then. So I am going to press down and using my smusher, And then I am going to attempt to lift this without moving the card base. And you know what? I really like it, and I'm not going to do much more with it because I think it's good the way it is. I will seal this though with, once again, the Diamond Glaze embossing powder. And I know I don't do something so crazy this often, but I just felt like being a little bit different today. Plus, I like the idea of having that dimension directly on the card base. It adds a little bit of simplicity, but it's a little complex in technique because you have to really be good at eyeballing what you're doing in the first place. And of course, to be a little more perfect, I could have used some embossing powder too. I'm not terribly worried, but I'm going to grab the diamond glaze that did end up on the edges just because I'm not trying to get super over the outside of the actual stamped image. I'm going to tap it real good, and then we're going to heat emboss. Of course, with a bigger image, it will take longer to heat emboss from behind, but that's okay. I've got time, for today at least. And one tip I do have is to make sure that you are moving your heat gun back and forth from behind to make sure that you're not burning one specific spot, that you're getting a good even heat all over the back. And the one nice thing about the white pigment ink is it sits on top, so there's a little bit more dimension to the heat embossing, but you'll notice that I had to heat emboss from the front for those edges because it was burning my thumb as I was heating from the back. And now I am going to just go ahead and assemble my cute little look. Before I put them all completely down, I'm going to add a little bit of the white metallic marker from Dollar Tree over the glitter just to give the trees a little more dimension. I'm mostly going to put it along the edges. It helps to distinguish from tree to tree. And right now, when they're up against each other, there's not much in terms of distinction. So adding some speckles, some lines of snow really help bring those trees a little bit out against each other. And it's basically like when I was using the alcohol ink markers, the brush strokes are slightly sporadic, but that's what makes them not predictable and add dimension at the same time. You want to at least have an idea of where you're aiming at, otherwise you're just going to have random dots or splotches everywhere. But it's kind of a artistic eye or in the artistic mind type of thinking. You want to pre-plan without over-planning. All right, and now I am ready to glue and commit to a scene. So I am using my Barely Art glue, and I am just going to glue everything down, putting a little separation between the trees, and I'll put the middle tree on the top of the two on the sides, but I won't put them exactly at the same height, just to give, again, more dimension, more interest to the scene itself. And because I want a little bit more separation here, I'm just going to add a little extra of the white along this edge because I think it's blending too much in with the tree behind it here. The other side seems to be pretty good, so I'm not too worried about that one. And then I'm going to just put my little snow lady that I absolutely love, love, love. And I'm going to place her here. She's out on a walk in the forest in this little scene with the snow background. And there's going to be a little bit of lift because of the embossing powder and the glitter. So I am going to go ahead and wait to put my sentiment until after the glue is adhered while I put it under a acrylic block for a little bit. After this lady's been pressed for a little bit, she is ready for her sentiments. I wanted to make sure that the sentiment wasn't going to be peeling up too. So that's why I waited a little bit to make sure those layers underneath got good pressure. Just because that little line of the sentiment was going to add enough dimension that would have potentially not allowed it to stick very well. So just wanted to give the most to let it adhere. So now that is my fast, easy, simple card with this cute new Stampin' Die of the Month set. I hope you pick it up. I hope you play with it and have as much fun as I did creating this cute little card. I'm going to probably keep it Christmas on my sentiment on the inside, but I haven't exactly picked out who this one's going to. One of the little friends of my girls is probably who's going to get this though. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. I have to let you know a lot of things that are going on. I will be joining Debbie J in her celebration for 4,000 Subbies hop this weekend. I will also be releasing a drawing of my own. I will be doing a giveaway through her channel, but I will also be doing a giveaway starting today, and it will be linked down below, but I will have a lot of goodies, so many goodies that I'm actually going to do 2 giveaways on this giveaway link. So go ahead and fill out the link, try to get as many points as you can. I want to spoil 2 people this year, and I hope one of them is you. I hope you will check out our shop down below. I have a 10% sale going on. The code for that is holiday10. I have also turned on free shipping through the 17th for any orders over $35, which will go away after the 17th because I have to, because my shipping costs have gone up this year. I also do have links for my husband's channel. We are doing a course for those who are business owners who want to learn how to retain your assets for your future, for your children, your grandchildren, and we really hope that you join our class. It is a cannot miss course that will be launched this week. Enrollment is still open. We have late enrollment, but we will be posting our first videos this upcoming week. So don't forget to check those links out as well. And also go to the Not Too Shabby shop and check out their amazing, fun die and stamp sets that I keep using and I can't get enough of. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. Don't forget to find the joy in your day and happy making. Bye! Using last month would have been November, not September. So I don't forget to die cut. Sometimes I do. Huh? What? What am I talking about? I forgot what I was saying.